Jerry here from I'm in the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, New York City. And today, I plan to enter this city and hunt for nostalgia. What better place to find some nostalgia than to go to the biggest con in the East Coast, New York Comic-Con. We're in a place where you could release your inner geek. So, all toy collectors, all comic book fans, all movie buffs, all anime lovers, all Star Wars gurus, all wrestling fans. Let's start the hunt. Seeing how NYCC is usually held at the beginning of October every year and has amazing cosplayers, it kind of signals the start of the Halloween season here in the city. This also gives us an opportunity to see just who everyone will be wearing this Halloween. So, who are you guys wearing?
Hawkman.
Hawk Girl.
Awesome. And tell me, how long did it take you guys to make these awesome costumes?
Years and years. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I sew everything. He does all the props. So, yeah, so the sewing takes his skirt. I call it a skirt. It's not a skirt, but that took a while because I had to hand cut every single little thing and then sew every single one on. So, several weeks.
I'm 70s Barbie.
And I'm wearing 70s Ken.
And notice, they're limited edition.
Yes, one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Very unique.
So, Halloween or cosplay?
Well, we're here at Comic-Con, so cosplay, and we are dressed.
100% cosplay. We're actually from New Zealand, and in New Zealand at the Comic-Con, 100% of people dress up.
Yeah.
So 100% commitment always at cosplay.
And check out who we got here. Tell me, buddy, who are you wearing?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Gotta love the web crawler. Up in New York City, definitely. Cosplay Halloween. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any answers from this guy.
We love Halloween so much, that's why we come.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. One of our rooms is a haunted room in our house, so I don't know. They're pretty evenly matched, but I guess Comic-Con in some ways is a little bit better.
It's a love for both.
I'd have to say Comic-Con because, for one thing, Comic-Con lasts more than one day. That way you have more than one costume option. Because for Halloween, I can never decide, do I want to go with this, or this? But with Comic-Con, you can just make one for each day.
Now, those were some of the world's best cosplayers I've ever seen. But there's no place to hunt for nostalgia than Comic-Con. I think we should get this hunt started. How is this weekend going for you?
It is absolutely insane. I personally love New York Comic Con. I've been going as a fan since 2014, but over the past 2 years, I brought Noise Toys to the show. We're finally here. It's been absolutely amazing. What an awesome experience so far. And we're only on day 2.
Here we are at NYCC, and we have an artist that's going to bring the art and nostalgia, Jamie Coker.
My whole thing when it comes to my artwork is I always try to look for something different, something I haven't seen before, but also something that can touch back, maybe like to your childhood, or like the good old days, as I like to call it, that kind of thing. And that's what inspired my Villainous Villains series. So if you look at it, it all started with Skeletor. Skeletor is near and dear to my heart. I melted one on a light bulb when I was younger. That's a long story. But I always remembered how great he made me feel, so he was the first one in the series. After that, Cobra Commander, that voice, I mean, every character so far that I've done in the Villainous Villains series, when you really break it down to what makes them great is the things that connected with you and your kid, the voices, the looks. When you see Skeletor, that's Skeletor. When you hear that voice, like, hey man, it's like Skeletor. Cobra Commander, I mean, they touch that inner child in you, and then when you combine it with the toys, like I do in the artwork, I mean it's a match made in heaven, bro. You know, I always try to base the toys off of things you could have bought in the 80s and 90s, and just getting the chance to connect those two things. Hopefully, every time someone sees one of the villainous villains, they will be like, you know what? That takes me right back. I had that toy, or I know who that character is, or I love that cartoon. And that's the goal every single time.
And that's exactly what we're looking for, that nostalgia.
It's Chris and Carrie. We're from the Bronx. Toys Alive.
Hi, how are you? I'm Carrie. This is Chris.
I'm Chris.
Nice to meet you guys. So here in the con, I mean, we're big on nostalgia, and I got main question for you two. Tell me something you found here that's so nostalgic.
Well, being Toys Alive, we're looking for those really vintage, cool pieces.
Yes.
You can find tons of toys here, but if you know toys, you want to look for things like this.
Oh, look at that.
Look at this. Now, I found this at a comic booth, which is one of the coolest things. Like, you go to a comic booth and you find the best toys, right? So this guy had this sitting here right at the edge, and this is an original G1 Optimus Prime in unbelievable condition. I opened it up. Is actually a first run of Optimus Prime, and if you look at the printing on the bottom, you actually see that it's a T. You can see the stamping shows you it's also all original. Light blue, which is another thing that tells you it's one of the first runs of the Primes, and these are some of the things that people will walk right by. I mean, we walked by here maybe like 3 or 4 times before we noticed it, sitting right here. Super gem.
2020's NYC was canceled, and last year's definitely things weren't back to normal. One thing is clear though, 2022 New York Comic Con is back. We had a successful nostalgic hunt, saw what cool stuff is going on the way, and the costumes, guys, if it's any indication of what Halloween's gonna be, you should know it's gonna be epic. Follow me right here, and as always, keep on hunting.